So hello everyone, welcome to Fiaura. How are you doing? I actually have Geen with me here now.
Hi.
And we're doing kind of my first impressions of patch 0.17 for Armored Warfare. Now, I'm going to say some things on the VBR first. The Warrior and Ramka are better armored. The Warrior and Ramka have better guns. The Ramka can choose to have guns or missiles. The fuck. The VBR is slower and less maneuverable than these. As a friend of mine has put it, that you will hear on Thursday, it moves like a turtle on speed.
Turns like a turtle on speed.
What's the point? It's literally inferior to the other two AFVs at the same tier in every way that you can think of.
So look, it's boxes. Boxes a tank.
Boxes. Are we really going to call the Fox boxes?
Well, no, boxes drives the Fox, remember?
Oh, right. Anyway. Yeah,
Wheeled
wheeled vehicle physics are still not fixed.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's what you would have happen if you tried to go over real roads at that angle. Hello, buddy!
Now, I'm going to say, I do like the smoke grenades, because people are using a lot more of them, and that's a good thing. They're thinking more tactically with the smoke grenade changes.
And yet you still have so many smoke grenades for such a small tank.
I'm kind of thinking we need to cut down the time delay to 40 seconds, personally. Because 45 seems a bit too long.
Pew, 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 pew. Hee And then, weren't you saying that one of the tanks still doesn't have its wonderful smokes?
The RDF and the ET still don't have the smoke grenades. I don't understand why. I wish I did.
Because they vape, yo.
That's wonderful.
It's bad for their health.
I am seeing a significant number of players, however, make massive errors when it comes to missiles now. They think because there's no delay, they can stop in front of a main battle tank in a vehicle with no armor and just fling missiles.
I mean, it sounds like a great idea to me. Obviously, that's how you do that. That's what you do in a tank destroyer, right? You stop right in front of the big tanks that you're trying to kill.
Yeah, you stop right in front of the big, massive death cannon.
Yep, exactly.
And stare at it for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
In a vehicle with no armor.
Yep.
And expect to live.
You're saying all this, and I'm still a World of Tanks player.
Are my expectations too high?
I've seen what people do. They do some stupid shit.
You've seen some shit?
Well, yeah. That's what happens whenever I go to the bathroom, right?
Or when you turn on World of Tanks.
Yeah.
And we're not dissing the game. We're dissing the player base. No offense.
All the offense. What are you talking about?
Aww. Now, the maps don't appear to have been changed very much at all, and therefore, currently, people still pretty much act the same way they always have on various maps. Hi, how are you, B Puma? What are you doing? How you? The Fox is running away from the Puma. This seems like a good idea.
I feel like the Puma is actually faster than a Fox, but that's not the tanks. That's physically the two animals.
Hey, you leave Boxes driving alone. Let him go be the Yiffinator like he wants to be.
Gosh. I
feel that this is actually a majority-wise, knowing that the other balance changes that are coming. And I know a lot of you are going to disagree with me, and I may take some flack for this. I feel like the changes in general are good.
Okay.
Because the next patch is going to be geared towards main battle tanks and tank destroyers and rebalancing them. And then the 0.19 patch supposedly is scheduled to be geared towards the rebalance or removal. We haven't determined which yet, guys, and they've said this in the dev vlogs. Rebalance or removal of artillery and the rebalance of light tanks.
Don't take my arty away from me.
I'm kind of in agreement. Don't take Gein's artillery away from her. Let her have her artillery.
It's one of the few things I can do in World of Tanks. That's mostly just because I spent so much time playing around with the German artillery. But in here, well, I think one of the things that really ends up making a big difference between this and World of Tanks is the ability of artillery to fire the spotting shells. Because if you believe that an opponent is in a certain area, you can either be the big DPS or help spot for your team.
I kind of feel the spotting shells and smoke shells should be encouraged a lot more, and you should be able to carry a lot more of them.
Okay.
I feel like you should be able to carry at least 10 of each.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, I really, really feel that you should be more heavily encouraged to use the smoke shells a lot.
What I'm trying to think is if you could incentivize it in some way, but there really isn't a great way to incentivize.
I mean, you get some credit for blocking line of sight to your allies, or specifically when you make your allies no longer visible on the map.
Okay.
But I feel like if you throw down a smoke shell and 5 or 6 shells come within 50 meters of an allied tank in that area, you should get something for denying the damage.
Okay.
Like, that damage denial should give you a reward because you strategically denied damage on your ally.
Yeah. And the same thing could be said, like, if as a light tank, if you manage to spot a certain number of enemies in a certain amount of time, you've spotted a rush. So you aid tactically. Maybe I don't know if there's. I know tactician is actually a thing already. That's why I'm.
Strategist?
Yeah. I don't know. Because I know you get something already for spotting. That's something you get. But maybe like a multiplier if it's like a
multiplier
0.5 additional multiplier for each tank in a certain area, but then you have SUA scouts.
Yeah, then you have SUA scouts. I mean, if it only went for the artillery spotting shell, I could see it.
Yeah.
But overall, my impressions of 0.17, it's a first little baby step in the right direction with the other balance changes they've told us are coming. Without them, though, right now, it's kind of, let's just be honest, it's AFV central.
It is.
With players who have no business driving AFVs stopping in front of main battle tanks, and with players who have all the business in AFVs slaughtering whole teams that you guys just witnessed.
Absolutely. Now, the big thing that really it's a way of playing that makes a difference. It's the play styles that make a difference with the different tanks, and I know you've probably commented on this before. AFVs and tank destroyers play not dissimilar because of how they're built. But at the same time, they have distinct pieces. This right now has made, and I think I commented on this earlier, made people believe that their AFVs function like tank destroyers. Holy cow, that thing's moving fast right now because we got the fast forward.
Yeah, I kind of see that a lot. I see, particularly with the VBR, when I see a VBR, I'm assuming he's equipped the missiles and he's going to sit back like a tank destroyer and just be a missile boat tank destroyer. It's like trying to play a swing fire at tier 8, though, which is basically suicide.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know, maybe it will take changes in maps. Maybe like a new map will make a difference to that. Maybe it'll take changes in like the fact that certain tanks get different bonuses based on what they do. So incentivizing, scouts to actually scout, heavies to actually kill, and all the rest.
Like, I feel that you should get a significantly bigger bonus. Like right now, it's kind of flatlined for everyone. You get the same kind of bonus for the same type of work. But you're specialized at doing certain types of work better.
Which makes some sense for the present, because it's probably kind of hard to differentiate that closely.
But I really feel like you're right. Like, AFVs should get much more experience and credits for spotting, because that's supposed to be their job. Mm-hmm. Tank destroyers and light tanks should get a lot more XP and credits when they shoot things in the side or rear.
To Bruiser.
Instead of trying to take on a target head on. Like these side shots I'm pumping in this T-72A.
Yeah.
If you get a side or rear hit for an AFV or a light tank, you should get more XP for it. It should motivate me to want to outflank you. Mm-hmm. And it should be a known facet that says that, like you get a bruiser badge right now for doing damage. What if I got a flanker badge for shooting someone in the side or rear?
Or if the bruiser badge was specific to if you hit the back or rear of a tank, there's a different thing for bruiser and destructive shots. I don't know. Is there a brawler badge?
I don't know.
Because that would make sense for getting front shots. Brawler badge for front, because that would be where you'd have to be aiming.
And bruiser badge for hitting them in the flank. And if you're in a light tank or tank destroyer, you would get more experience points for hitting the flank. And these are things that I wanted to bring up in Armor Talk, but we just ran out of time. We were going on for like 40 minutes again, and then we looked down and went, well, we're out of time. But as far as... I want to see the changes to MBTs and TDs go into effect. I want to see those changes go into effect before I make a final judgment on how good this patch actually is, which means we have to wait for the next patch, which is going to take another month. Maybe a month and a half. For right now, the only real encouragement I can give people is save your judgment. Don't get all angry and up. I'm actually telling you not to get upset. Me, Fiaura, is telling you not to get upset yet. Just save and play the game as is for right now. See how the changes are working. Go read the dev blogs to see how the next set of changes are going to come into play. Okay. Before you make your judgment that everything's going to shit. Because you have to remember that when they introduced Tier 9 and 10, everyone screamed everything was going to shit. And Tier 9 and 10 are now just an accepted thing in the game. Even if I don't necessarily agree with their existence,
there's
the flanking, and here's another brawler.
Yeah.
Flanking shot. He's clearly not looking at me. Flanking shot.
Yeah.
This would be a straight up frontline bruise because I'm shooting him through the front.
You'd have to brawl.
That's what we're talking about. Is when you get beside a tank and shoot it in the side, you would get an additional bonus in a light tank for doing your job of outflanking.
And again, this is not necessarily saying these are going to be perfect to start with. These are just suggestions of, hey, maybe this would work. And I don't know, I get the feeling that incentivizing scouting with light tanks and artillery, and incentivizing flanks with light tanks and TDs, these kind of things would change the style. It wouldn't necessarily fix everything with everybody camping on maps. That happens. People do stupid stuff. Trust me, the two of us have sat through a whole tournament where there was how many matches?
16 ties.
Because time ran out on a couple of people sitting still. Which is unfortunate.
I also think that if, say, main battle tanks got a bonus for blocking damage, well, that's taken care of. That would be a better game. Now, see, this is the stupid thing I'm talking about. He comes up and stops in front of me and fires his missile and then doesn't expect me to do this.
You rammed him up on top of a rock.
Yes, and then suspended him on top of my tank while I reloaded for the last shot.
straight into his underbelly. Which, by the way, if any of you have ever actually looked at the inside of a tank, is where everybody sits.
Anyway, so those are my impressions of 0.17. I am telling you to wait and save your judgment for 0.18. If you're getting frustrated, go play PvE. Like, just straight up, just go play PvE. I know some of you aren't PvE players, but trust me, you'll have some enjoyment out of the game still while you're waiting for them to patch MBTs, light tanks, and tank destroyers.
So, alright, let's go. What do you think the 3 top positive things of this update are?
AFVs are viable at high tiers again.
Okay.
At lower tiers, they're a little overpowered, but at high tiers, they're viable again. I think that the next positive thing is the number of people playing armored fighting vehicles correctly has gone up. There's a lot more scouting going on. They're being a lot more aggressive now that their missiles are not on a delay timer.
Okay.
And games are faster.
Okay. So those are some high points that at least Feces is the positive. There are certainly negatives. I mean, people do stupid stuff. That happens. We have stupid people. It happens. Any game that has multiplayer, you'll have stupid people. But as Fee pointed out, more people playing it right, which is good.
And more people playing different classes, and one class not ruling the roost of the highest tiers is great. But we kind of need to wait for the rebalance for it, so it stops. So this new changes makes it where it stops ruling the roost at low tiers.
Okay, so thank you all for watching.
Thanks, guys. Here's previous Armored Warfare video for you guys off to my left. If you want to see more stuff by me, Fiaura, you can subscribe. If you like to support the channel, Patreon, sons of bitches, go there! Seriously, it's how I eat now. You guys are actually paying for all my food.
It's awesome.
Or you can check out the ad at the end of the video. Who knows? Maybe you'll find something you buy or somebody else you support.
Yes.
And that's everything. Bye!
Bye.
Okay, who actually stuck around to the end of the damn video?
Me? I stuck around.
What crazy thing should we do?
Wave the flag. Wave the flag.
Identify this flag and wink in the comments below if you stuck around to the end of the video.
Woohoo! Alright. Yay! Bye-bye!
By the way, the flag goes up on my computer next to my pirate hat because I'm piratey. Also, I saved this for the end of the video. Geen!
Where?
You got a postcard.
I did? Oh, goodness. What is this? Who's this Hornet's Museum?
Go ahead.
Hey, Geen. Figured you might have a little bit been a little disappointed you didn't get a postcard. So, ta-da! Here's a postcard. The Texas Pokemon Emerald Leafeon. Woohoos! And then the hangar bay of the USS Hornet. Just, pretty cool.
So, Geen got a postcard.
Yeah, it did. Hornet, I think
I'm actually going to have to set up a P.O. box at this point. Anyway,
Gosh.
bye!
Bye!